What's up, guys? I got the PvP video here today. I am very excited. This one's going to be a bit of a long one. I got a lot to talk about, mostly because there's quite a few different modes. So I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible here. And since I kind of forgot to do it last time, I'm going to kind of show you right away the skill loadouts I got. So for solo, this is what I'm running. The skills are going to vary slightly between these two. And if you want to see the numbers, I'm going to go to skills here. So there's the numbers on those. Let's go to skills again. Let's get this threes. And there's the skills for threes. And I'm going to talk about all this as I go through this here. And then for Mine Wars and Ancient Battlefield, we're using mines. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later into why they're good for those modes. So we're going to start with solos. Actually, we're going to start with gears. Sorry. So for PvP gear, it's very simple. You just want the all attribute enhance for all three pieces. Blue, purple, pink, whatever you got. Just those are the pieces you want. That's gonna significantly boost your damage. Nothing else honestly really matters that much for PvP. At least until you get to Mine Wars and stuff. For Mine Wars, there's a couple things you could do, like put on cryo damage or eat cryo food for those that would help in like some weird ways for PvP, but for the most part, I just stick to what does the most damage, because you're mostly going to be playing CC support and backline damage. And you're going to see that in the video examples I post up here in a little bit. So with PvP, for solo PvP, you're going to want 2 melee maneuverability skills. And the main reason is you're going to be needing them for hard engages on certain classes and escape against certain other classes like Cloud Breakers and Berserkers. So I run Slide Attack and I run Formation Breaker. And I run Slide Attack first, as you see in my config here. That one's a little bit faster, and it does have a little bit of a... the Slide Attack has, with the Spark, you can see it gives them a little bit of hang time with the shots. So it gives you a second to dash and run away after that. The Formation Breaker, you could also dash backwards away from that. But you could also use that as a combo starter. But typically when you're doing these, you're using them for escape. But if you are using them as a hard engage, they're also great combo starters. For Formation Breaker, you can do, you can follow up with Explosive Hunt or Singularity Grenade, and then into Hyper Burn or Rampaging Barrage. And in one of the videos, I'll show you how powerful Slide Attack Rampaging Barrage is. I actually kill somebody with it. But you're going to use pretty much all the standard stuff. I mean, you're still going to use... you're not going to be using Charge Basic Attack. You're not going to be using Extreme Dodge. Basically anything that's useless in PvP, just don't bother with the points. Of course, endgame, obviously, your ults. As usual, you're not taking Cooling Module. Fiery Tour is probably your best hard engage of all the skills. I kill the majority of my players with it in PvP. Almost, I want to say it's got like a 90 to 95% success rate in terms of starting combos. It's absurdly powerful. And if the cooldown was any shorter than 51 seconds, it'd be the most overpowered thing there is. So I understand why the cooldown on that is so long. Fission Particle Cannon has very little utility in 1v1. It doesn't armor break, it doesn't give you super armor. It's just not that useful for 1v1, so just don't take it. And of course your finisher, your final finisher, isn't even available in 1s and 3s, so don't take it. And that's the basics for that. Let's get into 3s. So for 3s, your Flame Burst, your Flame Burst, your Singularity Grenade, and your Explosive Hunt are going to be your 3 engages, typically. You could use Ion Cannon as an engage, but usually I try to save that if one of my allies is getting hit. Ion Cannon is the easiest way to immediately break them. It even stops, it's got shield break, so it even stops berserkers. Just a fantastic way to get people off your allies, and that's your main role. You're either keeping enemies off your allies or you're locking down enemies so that your allies can start their combos. Your front lines. Singularity Grenade is the best at that. You can catch 2 people very easily on that, especially if you run into a situation where 2 people are trying to team up on one of your allies. This is the fastest way to turn that around. You're immediately going to stop both of them. It's going to pull them both into one spot, and it's going to allow your front line to start their combos and hit both of them at the same time as well. So very powerful skill in 3s. Rampaging Barrage I mostly use against berserkers. It's got very little times where you want to use this over other skills, but Rampaging Barrage is great on berserkers. It staggers them, it eats their shield really fast because it's got that shield break. Very good. Bombardment, I usually use this after my Singularity Grenade catches somebody, or I use it if I see more than one enemy rushing towards me. It's a really good zoning tool. It does a ton of damage, and it does knock up and shoot down, so if they're trying to jump, it's not going to work. Very, very good anti-chase. Just like anything else, Fiery Tour is a really good engaging combo starter, but in 3s it's even more powerful as a separation tool. Divide and Conquer is very powerful in 3s. You can run the line down the middle of the enemy team, and nobody wants to run into the fire. The fire does a lot of damage. Nobody's going to run through that. So if you're good with drawing on the ground of your skill, you can really cut off enemies from coming to help the guy that you're usually trying to single out. So you kind of want to run, you want to cut off the closest guy and cut off their back line. I'll kind of try to show you some examples in the video, but it's extremely powerful in 3v3s. And it's also good at chase. So if somebody's trying to run away and heal, get time to eat some soup or something, definitely Fiery Tour is a great way to just catch up and just nuke them. I'll often do a Fiery Tour followed up by either my first ult or my second ult, sometimes both. I do have videos where if you Fiery Tour at full stamina, you can follow up with both ults back to back, and it does a ton of damage. And then I do take Fission Particle Cannon in 3s. The biggest one, I do it for zoning. If you have 2 or 3 enemies chasing an ally, it's got a really long range. It shoots out pretty far pretty quick, and it's got a wide range. So a lot of times it'll cause them to turn around and run away because they don't want to take the damage. But also, if you have 2 or 3 enemies kind of dogpiling on an ally, it's a really good way to just get a ton of damage. You punish them. If they're ganging up on an ally, just punish them as hard as you can. And I typically do that if my Singularity Grenade's on cooldown. And while we're on the subject of 3s and talking about throwing grenades and stuff, jumping to throw grenades does increase the range, but you really have to know where the enemies are at. If you don't have track of one of the enemies and they could be flanking you, I wouldn't risk jumping and throwing unless you're really desperate on getting 2 guys off an ally, because when you get hit in the air, it eats your stamina, and then after you're down, you can't fight back. So, and then you have to peel, and then that allows the enemies to gang up on your allies even more. So it's just I wouldn't risk it if there's any chance of you getting hit. And you'll kind of see that in my play style a lot when I'm doing my threes, and you'll see those videos here. So with that, really quick, let's just get into the tiny differences of this loadout. So this loadout, like it's a lot of target-rich environment skills. You want your anything that does AoE damage. You want anything that zones. The mines are absolutely fantastic at it, and the great thing I love about the mines is it's on a 15-second cooldown, and less if you get something with it. So 99% of the time, it's on a 15-second cooldown, minus your cooldown rate, which usually makes it about a 12-second cooldown, minus another 2 seconds per mine that hits. So 99% of the time, by the time the mines are gone, it's off cooldown again. And it does knockup. So it's just a great zoning tool, especially if you're fighting on stairs, or you're running away from one of the capture points, or you're trying to prevent somebody from running away, and just throwing the mines ahead of them, because you can jump and throw them a little bit. It's just great for all kinds of situations where you don't want people to go certain places. And everything else is pretty standard, pretty similar to threes. You're just using a lot of this stuff as zoning and chip damage. And most of the time when I do Mine Wars, I get at least 40 to 50 assists just by firing these into combat, like almost blindly. It's really hard to keep an eye out for people behind you. So you'll see in some of my videos, somebody comes behind me and I'm really quick on that escape trigger. And when I do that, a lot of times I'll bombard behind me, because that instantly drops you back down and does a pretty heavy anti-air. So if they're in the air, it knocks them down. And then I'll follow that up with either an explosive hunt or a singularity grenade. But usually as soon as they get hit by that bombardment, they break out and dash. So you're usually not going to hit with a singularity grenade. But if you do catch somebody with it, it's nice. The only other thing I'm going to say is that try to get used to the radius on your ultimatum. It is a lot bigger than players think, and if somebody's just kind of casually chasing you and they're not dashing or on bike, pop ultimatum, you are going to hit them. And they can't break you out of it either, since it's got super armor, which is a dumb name for it, but it's a really good just tool for that. And that's it. So let's get into some of these videos, and I'm going to do some kind of commentary over them and explain to you a lot of tips and tricks for how I do a lot of these things. Alright, so right here you're going to see my favorite finisher. Fiery Tour, Alt 1, Alt 2, done. Great way to end a match, but I mean, pretty much just any big damage in general. Here's another example. This guy's trying to run. Catch him. Works great. Here's some solid peel. You got these guys harassing my teammate over here, so Ion Cannon's great for that. They can't really move mid-combo. Makes it very hard to dodge. Nobody likes missiles coming at him. Lots of people try to get out from that. There's a great peel for him. He was out of stamina. That gave him a chance to get away, get his stamina back up. Feel free to hold your laser. When there's other people attacking you, it's really hard to avoid people and the laser at the same time. So it's a great chance to get a free juggle. So on Mine Wars, you're doing a lot of hard CC, you're doing a lot of zoning, you're doing a lot of target-rich environment shooting. That's why there's the Ion Cannon right there. You see I just fire it off and it just does a bunch of damage. I think I get a kill with it later in the video, just randomly. It's just like, you got a kill. Okay. There's again holding the laser. It's really hard for people to worry about that while they're trying to run away from other players. And it works the opposite way too. A lot of times if they're focused on running away from you, they're not focused away on running away from other players. There I use my alt as a zoning tool. That particular alt, it's basically a wall of either take a lot of damage and try to dodge lock, like with the escape from it, or go around and risk getting hit by the people chasing. So great for that. Yep, there was that guy made a bad decision. He got too close to the singularity grenade and got sucked in. He was trying to beat up my friend. And you see that bombardment there? It's okay to like blow skills sometimes for no reason. There's no stamina in Mine Wars. So like, if there's enemies and you just have a skill open, like it's okay to just like blow bombardment, just in case somebody decides to try to break out and come for the backline from the air, or just try to come for you. And this is a whole Starbreaker fight, and I just want to kind of show you how to fight Starbreaker as a gunner. And you'll see me do the hard engage here, my combo with the ult. And what you want to do is never ever be out of stamina. You'll see there I saved some stamina, backed off, and then popped her with my ion cannon, and then ran away and built stamina again. And then I do it again. I do a skill, I'll get a little bit of damage off, and I'll back out. You just always want to make sure you have stamina against Starbreakers. As soon as you run out, they will combo the bejesus out of you. That was actually a risky move there. I tried to catch them with a gunner combo, but I got out, so it was fine. And I missed with the hyper burn. I was just out of range, but it's fine because there's that slide kick barrage combo I was telling you about that works really well. It catches melees off guard. They never expect for you to come at them with a slide. Never. There's another pop and lock combo I really enjoy. As soon as they hit that gravity grenade, you wait until the end of it, you pop your homing missiles, and then you pop your ion cannon, and you get a fully charged blast on them as they're coming down. There's no getting out of that. If you have ult, it's okay to pop ult for that too. And I like this clip because it really shows how to zone well for Mine Wars. You see a lot of CC, you see a lot of zoning, a lot of you see a lot of that where I'm like trying to shoot an enemy player and it locks on the target, which is cancer. It really should prioritize enemy players. But yeah, I'm basically just blindly shooting off zoning tools, and it works, especially around like this area where everybody's trying to get in. All the melee classes are trying to get in there. They're trying to do their thing. So I'm just shooting off all kinds of zoning. And you'll see my assists. I'll get an assist like every few seconds. And you're also getting contribution for damaging the central tower as well. But obviously the most important thing is the end here. And yeah, it's just try to peel for your allies, try to stay alive, zone, and you'll see a couple examples here. Definitely watch out for those giant wheels that come down. They will kill you in one hit if you don't have a breakaway available. I think one time I got away with a breakaway. I had like 1 hit point left, so you do have to be pretty, at least decently stacked on gears. I want to say if you're full epics, even if they're like void epics, you could probably survive. But if you're full of like pinks or less, you're probably going to die instantly from the giant saw wheels. Yeah, and I think that was the one right there where I get attacked and then I immediately back out. I ult, which gives me super armor, and that gives me a chance to then get away, and that avoids the whole getting comboed to death thing. So it's a great way to do that and kind of turn the tables on somebody that gets the jump on. And that's for any class, not just that. So as long as you're, I think all the ults have super armor, except maybe the 30-second ones. Don't quote me on that. And yeah, this gets kind of rough here at the end. Basically, what the enemy team did here is they rush. They wait till we get it down to 3%, and then they have a huge party rush it, which I don't think should work. In my opinion, that's the worst decision the devs made for this game, is making it a last bit mechanic. Because it just doesn't seem fair that, you know, you can sit here and you can control the end game point for the whole game, and then if they come in last second, steal it. That just don't seem right. It should be who does the most percentage damage to it, or even who destroys the most of the tower segments. Like, that shouldn't be hard for them to track. It really shouldn't. They already keep track of objective damage, so it should be really easy for them to just figure that out. Just random assists. Great, there's another random assist just from doing damage. There's a berserker hitting me. Oh, this is the one where I do I back up. Oh no, it's not that one. This is the one where I got confused. I was like, where do I keep getting attacked from? And then the different people kept hitting me in the back. But that's it. That's the game. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and I'll be doing my Safeguard PvE video soon. See you guys later.